Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, tonight, let's talk about one big prediction from a major player who says Bitcoin is on its way to $350,000. That's right. And he's not the only one. There are some major players in Wall Street that believe it's time to load up on Bitcoin. So let's talk about it, and let's talk about everything else that's going on today. All right, let's do it. Welcome. Hey, overall, we're still sitting pretty. 67.2, 67.3. Nothing wrong with this level. Yeah, it's a little boring, but still way better than where we were last week. Overall, we are getting ready for the next leg up. This week, we do have a big expiration. So on Friday, generally speaking, we do have volatility whenever we do have options expiration. But overall, we are hanging pretty well. But let me show you guys a couple of pretty bullish news. First of all, we got Tudor Jones, who says we're going to see a reckoning soon, possibly right after the election. And this is because, as a country, we are going to be broke. And this is something that everyone has been talking about for quite some time. And this relates to the endless and irresponsible spending from our government. Okay? Endless debt, endless spending. Eventually, it means that we are going to be broke. And the only way we can pay our interest and debt back is by issuing more bonds, right? And at some point, that's going to lead to disaster. And the bond market fails and drops, he believes everything's going to collapse. That's what he's worried about. And a lot of economists and analysts and just Wall Street tycoons have been saying this forever, right? But so far, the Fed has kept it afloat somehow, okay? The Fed and Treasury and Congress, they have kept the house of cards afloat, and it hasn't collapsed. But there are many that realize that this can't go on forever. You can't have this endless spending, irresponsible spending go on forever. And as a country, we just keep going more and more in debt. And I've been saying, how do you opt out of this? You don't have to opt into this. You could opt out of it, right? How do you opt out of it? Well, you do what Tudor Jones is doing. You do what Michael Saylor is doing. You do what a lot of people are doing. You go long Bitcoin. That's what he said. When you have this situation, right, where you're worried about an absolute collapse, or you're worried about hyperinflation, which we see in other countries, it's happening in countries around the world. Even though we complain about high inflation in the US and other EU countries and just in a lot of other countries, there are countries that have it much worse with super hyperinflation, right? And how you opt out of that is by opting in Bitcoin. And he said so himself. He's going to gold and Bitcoin. He's long Bitcoin and gold. And he has been pretty darn accurate. Like Saylor in 2020, he also went on CNBC back in 2020 and said, hey, I'm going to put 2% of my assets in Bitcoin. That was a pretty smart move. He said it again in 2023, right before there was a big climb, just like in 2020. And he's saying it now. So he's been doing pretty well. He's a self-made billionaire already, right? But he understands, just like so many others that understand that Bitcoin is an answer, is a hedge against inflation, because no one controls it, no one can inflate it, no one can apply monetary easing, right? There's no corrupt politicians that can get their hands on it. It's all great. Great stuff. And he's not the only one. Jan VanEck also went on Fox News and said that he's very bullish, very, very bullish on Bitcoin and believes that it could reach half of the market cap of gold, which means that it can reach 350K. And that's only the beginning. By 2050, in 26 years, we can see Bitcoin at $2.9 million each. We could probably hit that way sooner than 2050. So he's not alone. We got so many Wall Street titans that are now turning pro Bitcoin. Let's not forget the biggest one of all, Larry Fink. He has been giving some big endorsements as well, and his fund is the fastest growing fund in history and has taken in close to 400,000 Bitcoin in 9 months, right? If these aren't signs to load up on Bitcoin, I don't know what is. You just have to pay attention, right? You just have to. Now, as for all the moves from Tesla tomorrow, I believe they're reporting. So far, it seems like they haven't sold any. I've been talking a lot about this. I'm like, Elon, with all the crazy stuff that he's been doing recently and the amazing stuff he's doing with SpaceX, he better not be selling any Bitcoin. It seems like all the moves he's been doing, it's just basically he's aggregating. And overall, Tesla still holds about $777 million worth of Bitcoin. So that is absolutely fantastic. Okay, let's hope during his quarterly call, he embraces Bitcoin too and says, hey, I'm going to start loading up on Bitcoin just like Michael Saylor and everyone else. That's going to send Tesla stock upwards, skyrocketing. And that would be the right move. Let's hope he announces that tomorrow. But hey, he has close to $1 billion in Bitcoin. That's not bad. And SpaceX also has some, and he personally has some. So these are all great things as well. What else is there? Bitcoin hash rate, all-time high, which means the network is getting stronger and more decentralized. These are all great things. That's good. And as for price movement, well, you know, from a TA perspective, we broke out of this channel. We're retesting it a little bit. That's okay. We're still above the channel, which is actually really, really good. If you're looking at 2020, after the halving event, it took about 180 days before we started the parabolic rise. Guess where we are now? 180 days past the halving event. So that means we're either going to start or we're going to start soon. So we're like right there. Now, history doesn't always repeat. Doesn't mean that we have to start right here or close to here, but history tends to rhyme. So we're like right at the cusp, and that's why it's called October. It generally starts in October. Everything aligns in October. So we're like right there, right there. Just got to get out of this funk of 67,000, and it could just be because of options expiration this week. Also, of course, we got a lot more charts that's showing where we are heading, $260,000 at the end of this cycle. And we have a tsunami of money that's coming into the market. Okay? I mean, I'm talking about global market, not just the US market. When you have countries around the world that is starting to print money, that of course causes inflation, that's going to send price of investments of goods, of services, and investments upwards like Bitcoin. And if you wanted more, guess what? Elections is coming up. And generally speaking, after elections is very, 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 very bullish for Bitcoin. So you got a lot of things coming up. Okay, you just have to be patient, be strong, continue to DCA as much as you can, so that the big boys do not take up all of your Bitcoin. And that's really it. And other crypto too. For example, Solana. Solana/ETH is at an all-time high. Solana is catching up to ETH at a staggering rate. This is the highest Sol has been compared to ETH. I have said this before, and I'll say it again. I do think Sol will flip ETH this cycle. It makes a whole lot of sense. All the metrics support it. It would not surprise me if it happens. So, just so you're aware, Radium also beats Ethereum in 24-hour fee revenues. And that's crazy if you think about it, because Solana is so much cheaper than Ethereum overall. So for Radium to beat fees, that means the transaction count has to be way, 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 way higher than what Ethereum has. That's actually kind of crazy if you think about it. And also just everything. Real economic value, transaction fees plus MEV tips, sky high. And of course you have like Pump.Fund that is still going crazy. And they're about to issue their own token too. Even though they're helping others come out with tokens, they're going to issue their token as well. So, bullish on Solana. All right. That's pretty much it. Overall today, not a bad day, but could be better. All right, let's do some Q&A. All right, let me see here. Let me scroll up. I missed some super chats here. Eye the Beholder. Okay. E36 man. New member. Awesome. 250K is my target. Awesome. RK says 100K by February 2025. Retrace to 50K by 2026. And then 200K by 2029. I think that's very, very off. I'm sorry. Ricky, thank you. ETH is garbage. Okay. Who you got for World Series? I have no idea. I don't follow baseball at all. Thoughts on Minneapolis Fed that wants to ban Bitcoin. No one cares. Are you talking about Kashkari? No one cares about him. Isn't today the first day of NBA? What are your thoughts on MAGA and Trump coin? No thoughts. They've been out already. They have nothing to do with Trump, created by just some random people. So I would not trust them at all. Does baseball follow me? I have no idea what baseball does. Pretty good interview with me and AJ. I appreciate that. AJ is a cool guy. I meet him a lot during my travels. You know, he does his thing, does it well. Nice guy. Do you think Bitcoin will dip if Elon says they will sell or sold on their call? I don't know. At this point, I don't think so. But I think Bitcoin will pump if he says they're going to buy, they're going to adopt the Bitcoin strategy. But if he says they're going to sell it, I don't know. Maybe if he's going to say we're going to dump $700 million worth of Bitcoin, maybe. What's your prediction on AI market with upcoming AI coins? I've talked about a lot of AI coins before. I think they're going to be pretty strong. The AI narrative is only going to get stronger, and all the projects that deal directly or indirectly with AI will probably get strong. Are we bullish on Phantom? The chart looks pretty good. I don't know if the chart looks good on Phantom. Actually, I was looking at a chart on Phantom. It's kind of like way off. Way off. But even looking at compared to March, it's kind of stuck. Still has a ways to go. I guess it's not. I mean, compared to other alts, it's about the same. If you look at like over here to where it is, about 38%. It's about the same as Ethereum. It's not that off. After rebrand, it could be quite good. Do you think BNB will be more widely available on major US exchanges? Probably not. They're in competition. There's no reason why Coinbase or Kraken or Gemini would list BNB. Like, they're in competition with Binance, so I don't see why. Have you leveraged longs on big time before? Is now the time again? No. I don't think I have, and I don't recommend it. Big time is a gaming project. I don't think they're doing that well right now. And I don't think the gaming narrative is coming back yet. Maybe next year when it gets hotter. 208? That's not bad, actually. That's not bad. Definitely they were much hotter back in the day, but I don't know. The name gaming narrative to me just has not taken off. I think next year it'll be hotter. I don't pay attention to Murad and his meme super cycle thesis. What do you mean by being 30% in cash? What clarification do you need? 30% of your portfolio in cash or stablecoin. Some YouTuber just made a video saying ETH will beat and surpass Bitcoin market cap this year. Yeah. This year, not happening. Next year, not happening. Virtual and Heart finally ripping. Never heard of either one, James. I went all in on RSC token. Research coin. You went all in on research coin, Tony? What the hell is this? I have no idea what this is. This looks like a Reddit for research. Is this the right one? That would certainly not be something I put all my money in. It was founded by Coinbase founder. That doesn't really mean much. He might just be doing it because he wants to help someone, because he likes research, but that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean it's going to blow up like Coinbase. Doesn't mean that it's going to be listed on Coinbase. What are your thoughts on 2025 Audi RS6 GT? Apparently, there'll be only 85 sold in the US. It's not exclusive enough where getting it will be worth it because it'll still depreciate. George, why don't you increase your MicroStrategy position? I mean, I have all the money I have in stocks are tied into like Nvidia options or Coinbase or Robinhood options. I don't have any more money to throw into MicroStrategy. I already do have some MicroStrategy shares. I just don't feel like I need to increase it more. Almost everything I have is in crypto. So what little amount I have is mostly in NVIDIA options, and it's doing well. Eventually, when I have to close them out, I may just increase my MicroStrategy option positions then. Jeremy, hi, I'm from New Zealand. Here's a brain F for you. How do we value our BTC when we're no longer on the dollar standard? That's a good question. That's a good question. At some point, that's going to happen, right? You have to value it based on some other currency. I don't know. And here, it's the same thing. What about stablecoins? Most of the stablecoins are pegged to the dollar, right? So what's going to happen when they're not based on the dollar? I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully we don't have to find out. But in the future, a lot of things will probably be, priced against the SAT instead of a dollar. I could see that happening, Then you don't have to price it versus a dollar. You could just price it against goods, like how much goods you can buy with it, something like that. RK, China CCP will use Bitcoin to challenge USD once controls are in place. When will China HK launch a Bitcoin ETF? They already have one. They already have a Bitcoin ETF. But I think you're right. Russia definitely wants to get off the USD standard, obviously, because of all the sanctions. So they're like really getting involved with crypto. And China also have a bigger plan to get into crypto. That's why they let all the miners secretly back in. They let Hong Kong approve a Bitcoin ETF. They're going to allow crypto trading in mainland soon. It's all part of a bigger plan. Hong Kong does. Hong Kong has a Bitcoin ETF. Hawaii Rider says, man, I bought Sol at $20 2 years ago. I sold to buy XRP before it went to 200 bucks. And XRP probably still at the same price it was 2 years ago. Roughly how much Bitcoin can drop due to options expirations? I have no idea. It could go lower. It could go to 60K. Sure. I don't think it will, but can it? Sure. All roads lead to inflation. That is right. You got to go long Bitcoin. That's how you protect yourself. All right, guys. I'm going to take off. Feeling a little tired. Anyways, $350,000. That's what Jan VanEck predicts where Bitcoin will be. So strap on, get ready, HODL and DCA. That's all you need to do. All right, it's really that simple. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time as usual, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right, have a good one, guys. Take care. Good night. Bye-bye.